is an ABC color presentation.
Any amusing anecdotes you wish to impart this time?
Let's see. Got my car fixed.
Yeah?
Yep, that's
After that
pretty amusing.
life-threatening crash?
Yeah, I guess it was life-threatening. I got nothing.
Did your airbags didn't deploy, did they?
No,
Okay.
they didn't.
Okay.
I rear-ended somebody who I thought had plenty of time to go, taking a left turn, which I still maintain should just be illegal. There shouldn't be. They should just design fucking Habitrail-style roads so that I don't have to fucking take a left ever again.
Yep.
And here I am out. Well, my deductible was $500, so whatever. But $7,000 was the estimate. They said we were sure this will go up once we open the hood, but we're afraid to open the hood for fear that we won't be able to close it again while you're still driving the fucking thing around. And I said, I agree. So then, yeah, they opened the hood and $12,000 was the final price. But every little thing they found had little cracks in it. So I've got to replace it. There's 800, there's 600, there's 2. Okay, that's my anecdote.
How do you do? We're about to unfold the story of
Ghost of Frankenstein.
My son, would you destroy that which I, your father, dedicated his life to creating? What if it had another brain?
Whose brain?
Your brain.
Power! What good is a brain without eyes to see?
I warned you that you might regret this action.
We've warned you.
You've been warned. Welcome back to Frankenstein Minute. What is that? That's the podcast that dissects the Universal Frankenstein films minute by minute.
And who are we?
Who are we? I'm Thom Lang. I don't know about you.
Who am I?
Who are you?
I'm Bill Evenson.
That's right.
And you've joined us for what? Minute 22 of Universal's 1942 film All New Thrills, The Ghost of Frankenstein, starring Sir Cedric Hardwicke, Lady Evelyn
Dame
Ankers,
Evelyn
Dame Evelyn Ankers, Sir Lon of Cheney. Fuck it. And in this minute, we learn what fucking Ludwig. Oh, see, I was gonna try not to say that so much. I don't want to say the F word for no reason. It's just, I apologize for all the swearing in our podcast. So just to throw that out there. There's really no reason for it other than
that's just how we talk.
It's just how I talk.
Yeah. In fact, I have a hard time catching myself at work.
Yeah.
Not talking like that.
Yep. Well, I'm surprised. I have joined a workplace that's almost completely male, and as a result, there seems to be a lot very free with the F-bombs at work. Anyways, in which Ludwig reveals his response to fucking Elsa's comment about the strange man. And his response is...
Elsa's asked who the weirdo at the door was.
Nobody of any consequence, darling.
A patient.
A patient.
The script, he says, rather than a patient, he says a poor unfortunate.
Okay, that's okay. I'll have more to say about that. Yeah, it's definitely better. Yeah, nobody of consequence. Yeah.
He smiled at me, a cruel smile. It was dreadful.
It was Bela Lugosi.
What do you want?
You can't do any better than that.
What do you want?
Yeah, I wonder how much you can really say this movie is just, it has like a series of things that make it good, propping up this movie that isn't very good.
Isn't very good.
Like, it's a Frankenstein movie that has all kinds of the scenes with the Frankenstein monster in it, so that just alone props it up.
There's more Frankenstein monster in this film than there was in the last one.
I agree. The question
not necessarily makes it better.
The question actually came up, and I threw it to Dino because he edited these together before, and he said he thinks Bride probably has the most.
Yeah.
The first film, he doesn't come in for 30 minutes, so that reduces
30 minutes
but then
out
he's
of
in every shot after that.
70-minute movie, yeah.
He's not in every shot, but anyways, and then in Bride, he's probably in it the most. But then the next one he was saying is either this one or Abbott and Costello. But I think it's probably
this one.
Yeah, because he's not in the beginning of that one either, really. I don't know.
He is. Yeah, he is.
I guess he doesn't do anything in that movie, so
he does more. He does more in that movie than he did in the 3 previous.
All right, so that's propping up this movie, and Bela Lugosi playing Igor is propping up this movie.
Well, I think Evelyn is always a welcome addition.
That's true. I don't mind
she's
her.
become sort of the scream queen of Universal horrors.
Mm-hmm. well, you know what my patients are. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, forget
So
about it.
he says what they are.
Yeah, what, not who.
Yeah, which seems unfeeling, but completely matches Ludwig's personality.
Yes.
It seems like exactly what he would say.
Yeah, the way he treated Bomer in that first scene.
Yeah, right.
This doesn't contradict that at all.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And also, he is lying, right? He's
Pretty
not
much.
a patient. Also, I suppose there's something to be said for clinical detachment. It is at least a methodology, an option for someone who wants to get into the business of helping people.
Mm-hmm.
There is an advantage, I feel, at least
absolutely.
on occasion, in some way, to adopting a bit of clinical detachment. Maybe calling people what they are
going a little too far.
going a little too far, but I guess I get what it's trying to do.
I totally agree. I think that's why I don't do it, because I would get too emotionally involved.
Yeah, like just at your workplace, the people that you define as your customers are things. They're awful monsters.
They are, but on an individual level, they're a person. And
well, I suppose
my quota for stupid was used up early in the week, and it just continued. It's
been a good week for that.
Yeah, it was a good week for stupid.
Don't let it worry you.
Forget about it.
So what does he mean? He means creepy weirdos are just going to be stalking around the place from time to time. You better get used to it.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah, you know how it is.
It is
I've
what
told
it
you.
is.
You're perfectly allowed to stay here, provided the occasional madman stalks the place and might like to see you naked. I got to point out something. When we were watching this on your laptop, I think the sound mix is slightly different than it is at my house. So I could really hear the music, and it's really not great. Like the music is doing this weird, like like trying to add something to what she's saying.
Add some gravitas that's just not.
It's not needed. She's unhappy, and that she's doing fine. She doesn't need the music to add some weirdness to it.
Yeah,
music.
It's one of the instances where the score doesn't work. Absolutely,
yeah, doesn't work great.
Yeah, the script is much more awkward in this sequence.
Okay,
where he's like kind of rushing back and forth from her to the desk and feigning this nonchalance that that's it. Imagining Hardwick doing that would have been preposterous in the first place.
And that's something this minute actually we see. This is a definite improvement because it's pulled off pretty well.
Yes.
She comes in the room. This is last minute now, but she comes in the room and he just closes the book he was looking at, which is a reasonable thing for a doctor to
casual,
do. You know, not be showing off what could be HIPAA. There's a HIPAA violation.
In the script, again, he's like scrambling to hide them when she comes in, which I think, nothing more suspicious than doing that.
Right.
So this is a vast improvement over
and
what's
she
in the
does
script.
look back, and she does think it's fishy, and he does usher her out the door as if to say, no, don't worry about that. Remember, Eric was here. Remember, he wanted me to... we're in a hurry. What are you doing with these books?
Yeah.
So there's a lap dissolve.
Well, first it says that he stoops down to kiss her forehead.
Oh, that's right. I did see that, which is hilarious.
She's like an inch taller than him.
Gotta be. Yeah, and that's she's probably barefoot and he's got heels on. There's nobody's
stooping down to kiss her forehead.
She might stoop down to kiss his, but that might change things a bit. Yeah.
I mean, they're more or less eye to eye, but
yeah, they're more or less eye to eye.
He glances back at the notebooks, but leaves them there without racing around to hide them. Which
he doesn't have to run around the desk.
Would have been ridiculous.
Yes.
Then we do lap dissolve.
We do lap dissolve to a shot that I think is just a fascinating study of Earl C. Kenton and the way he makes this movie.
Okay.
I cannot fucking believe what happens next.
Go ahead.
We cut to a busy courtroom.
Yep.
It's done, Citizen Kane style with
deep
Orson
focus.
Welles and what was the guy's name? Greg Toland, deep focus. And right at the back, a well laid out shot when you look at the way, everybody's
well composed.
It's well composed in the sense that right in the center in the back is the monster. But he's in the back and he's just sitting there and
he's not played by Lon Chaney.
Well, it doesn't even look like Lon Chaney. I don't know if it's Lon Chaney.
I'm sure it's Parker sitting there. Eddie Parker sitting there.
I would
because there's a shot later where it's a little more obvious that it is.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure about that.
Yep.
But anyways, in the script, the monster has this dramatic, he's dramatically led into the courtroom.
Yeah.
So when you're a guy who goes to make a movie, you might look at it and go, well, we've already introduced the monster. There's no need to reintroduce the monster. Let's just have him sitting on a fucking chair in the back of the room.
Yeah, just casually sitting there.
As opposed to somebody like James Whale, who might say, every time the monster comes in the room, it's going to be fucking awesome.
Amazing, yeah.
You know, and so this, Kenton, in my opinion, in this shot, it just summarizes why this movie kind of fails on that level.
Yeah.
When we come from what Whale was doing, and we get to the point where we do a lap dissolve, and the monster's
just
sitting in a
around,
fucking chair.
having a smoke,
and in fact, they then cut to a close-up, or a medium,
It's
not
like
even
a medium,
a medium
it's like a
close-up,
medium
full shot, whatever you call it, where Jackie, when we were watching it, said, he's asleep. Because he kind of looks like he's got his eyes
He's either asleep or he's stoned,
he doesn't. Either the lids are too. We've covered this a little.
Yeah, the lids
but
are
either
too
the
tight on
lids
his
are
eyes.
too heavy on him, or he can't, or he's too drunk. I have no idea why, but he barely looks like he's got.
Did I send you that article that tried to debunk that?
I sent it to you and you read it. I didn't even read the whole thing.
Yeah, it tried to make the point a little too strongly in the opposite direction.
That Lon Chaney is a genius.
Was a genius. Everything he did was
G
genius.
Junior. We're talking about, of course.
Yeah, everything he did was genius.
Yeah.
I believe that his reputation could use a little help after the dings it's taken for the last 50 years, but...
Yeah, he's a good actor that does really good stuff. He's not good in this movie.
He's not good here.
There's no way we can... Actually, I'll have more to say about that in coming weeks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's just a case of Universal mishandling him completely.
Yeah.
And the types of films they were making in this era.
Well, this is the type of film they're making in this era.
Exactly. That's my point.
It's not a bad movie. I enjoy watching it, even if I don't have to podcast about it.
One of the things we talked about when we first started this is, wait till we get to Ghost.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about? That's going to be, and I actually find it more interesting to talk about because there is these moments where it's like, oh, that was not a good choice.
Yeah, as I say, it's a well-composed shot.
Yep.
It's got shadow at the front and light at the back where you can make out that it's the monster or somebody in a chair.
Also, you can see Eric talking to Hussman.
You can see Eric talking to Hussman.
Yep.
Yes. What are they talking about?
The game the other day.
There you go. The big match. Did you watch the big match?
Yeah. It cuts to a sort of an up-angle medium shot. Junior looking like he actually looks like he's about to cry.
Yeah, he doesn't look...
his lower lip is kind of fidgeting a little bit.
Interesting.
And he's got that kind of sad clown expression.
You think maybe
he
is asleep and he's talking in his sleep, mumbling to himself?
He's having delirium treatments.
There you go. God, I suppose that's possible.
No, I hope not.
I hope not. All right, well then, and this is going to almost certainly annoy the shit out of you.
Yeah?
We cut to a doorway.
Yes.
And do you know what's in the doorway?
It's a bunch of kids trying to get in.
The kid on the left in the doorway is named William Smith.
I assumed you were going to go there, so I didn't.
Good.
Yep.
Because this is gonna. You can put your card down. I've got a lot to say about. William Smith.
I was gonna go there, but I figured you'd already referenced it.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. We're already late in the game because he's been in two other shots. He was in the very back of the shot where the boy kicks Cloestein's ball, but he's barely noticeable there. Then when Cloestein and the monster are up on the roof, Hussman is calling up to her on the roof, and he's very noticeable
he's
right behind him. I don't even know if we mentioned it at all.
No, we didn't, but yeah, he's right alongside.
Well, now it's as good a time as any to bring it out because he's very obvious in this shot. If you just look for the kid on the left, he's doing this bit where he's all excited and like clearly this courtroom is packed. There's no more seating available, and everyone needs to stay in the doorway. And next week, a kid tries to run.
Well, I was going to say,
maybe we'll talk about that. William Smith, born March 24th.
Oh, you're stealing my bit.
1933 in Columbia, Missouri. Yes, eagle-eared listeners of Frankenstein Minute will note this is the second time I've done this. The first time was episode 4.
Okay.
Which was Bill Dyer.
Bill Dyer, yeah.
Yes, which is a great name
for
Bill Dyer
for a gravedigger.
Gravedigger.
That was episode 4 of Frankenstein.
Of our podcast altogether. Yes. Born March 24th, 1933 in Columbia, Missouri. I just want to make sure I repeat that. He's from Missouri.
Thank you.
He died July 5th, 2021 in Woodland Hills, Los Angeles, California
The
of
actors.
Alzheimer's disease. So he died just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he's probably at that actor's home because that's what
And
it is.
I put in Woodland Hills thinking that was that one, but I couldn't be sure.
Barsky can verify that.
There you go. 339 credits, including Little Boy in Meet Me in St. Louis in 1944. This isn't how you do it, right? You don't say the role, then the title,
I
then
mean,
the
only
year.
if it's something significant to the
All right,
genre.
well, I'm going to keep going. Choir member in Going My Way in 1944.
Get comfortable, folks.
Well, these are big movies that
Yeah,
he
they are.
apparently is in
Yeah, they are.
in some way.
Yes.
Or somebody can point him out. He is a man in Gilda in 1946. Then he's young boy in I Wonder Who's Kissing Her Now in 1947.
So he could play any age.
Yeah,
he's versatile. He could play any age.
In the 40s, anyway. Then he, I'm skipping a whole decade or
that's
so
probably
to
funny, too.
Joe Riley on the TV series Laredo, which aired from 1965 to 67, a spin-off of The Virginian. He was in 56 episodes of that.
So he must be
was
like a regular
TV
or-
guy. Yeah, he's a regular guy on that. And he also plays, he's credited as Joe Riley in an episode of The Virginian, so I assume it's a spin-off.
Yeah.
Whether it was a spin-off or something that crossed over, I'm not 100% sure. He's Adonis on the final episode of Batman, 1966. Well, I guess 68 by then.
Yeah, he would have been one of the thugs for Joan Collins' Siren.
Excellent. He's Jerry Grimes in the very first episode of The Rockford Files in 1974.
Really? Because I just saw that recently.
Okay, well, you
I'll
missed it.
have to watch it again.
He
to
may
look
be
for-
credited, on some of these he's credited as Bill Smith.
Oh, well, that would completely throw me off the scent.
Yeah, that's not this guy. There's a lot of TV. He's Falconetti on 3 episodes of Rich Man, Poor Man in 1976.
So is that one word or two?
Falconetti?
Yeah, no, it's
Falcon Eddie?
Yeah,
that's one
okay.
word.
I only asked because we had a bus driver
Named Falcon Eddie?
No, it was Falcon Eddie, but somebody misheard it as Falcon Eddie.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it became sort of a joke.
Yeah.
Ever since it's Falcon Eddie.
Nice to meet you, Falcon Eddie. I'm Hawk Johnny.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what we named our dog after too.
He's also there you go.
Eddie's,
Nice.
Yeah.
Falcon Eddie on 18 episodes of Rich Man, Poor Man Book 2 in 1977. Now, if you go to his IMDb page, it says he's most known for Falconetti and Rich Men, Poor Men. That's
That
why
makes
that
sense.
shows up. Interestingly enough, he plays a character known as Frankenstein in an episode of Fantasy Island in 1978.
I did have that.
You had that
I did
one?
have that because I thought that was interesting.
He's Detective James Kimo Carew in 19 episodes of Hawaii Five-0.
Oh,
He's Matt Diggs in The Frisco Kid in 1979, Jack Wilson in Any Which Way You Can in 1980.
Frisco Kid is a great underrated Gene Wilder movie.
Yeah, Gene Wilder and Harrison Ford out of their element, but in their element.
They're both great,
really
and
very
it's
good.
a great movie. Yeah, if you haven't
I
seen
should
it,
go back and watch it.
You owe it to yourself.
Jack Wilson in Any Which Way You Can in 1980. I think that's one of the other ones that are highlighted on his IMDb.
Yep.
Conan's father in Conan the Barbarian in
Really?
1982.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's not nobody. He's a store clerk in The Outsiders in 1983.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Patterson the cop in Rumblefish in 1983.
Well, Coppola must have liked him then,
Exactly. Strelnikov in Red Dawn in 1984. Captain Ripley in Maniac Cop in 1988.
Yeah, because
Normad in a movie that Red Letter Media calls Getaven in 1993.
what do you call it?
It goes by a bunch of different names. I think it's called Bullets and Champagne and some. If you just watch the Red Letter Media video of it, they have a show called Best of the Worst where they watch kind of random shit. And if you just watch their version of it, it seems to me impossible to watch that and then watch the actual movie.
Okay.
Because it looks so fucking terrible. But one advantage is you might get to see William Smith play Normad. One last thing on his IMDb, he's in a movie called Debbie Does Damnation in 1999, which I Googled and found positive reviews for at places that review these kind of like schlock films. It's not just porn, but it's sort of
Is it though hardcore?
Is it hardcore porn?
Yeah, that film.
No, it doesn't appear to be. Like I said, it's reviewed positively in these short schlock. Like there's demons and shit in it, and it looks like it's like a really low budget but cleverly put together film. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
It sounds vaguely interesting.
As if that all wasn't enough, I have more to say about William Smith from the trivia section.
Okay.
He performed over 5,100 continuous sit-ups over a 5-hour period.
Really?
Maybe I should preface this by saying, on the Classic Horror Film Board for the thread for Ghost of Frankenstein, the very first post is someone saying, William Smith, and he was still alive then, is going around conventions saying he's the boy that kicked the ball.
That's right. We talked about that.
And the second post is Tom Weaver saying, well, he has to know he's lying because, which is an interesting way to start a sentence because we've talked about this. And I think memory alone, I started to tell a story at dinner last month, and halfway through I realized that what I was saying had happened to me had actually not happened to me. It had happened to the person sitting right next to me. That happened to me, and he's one of our Patreons. It's Robert. So I get how memory works. It's not, you're not always...
Every anecdote I've told about myself happened to somebody else.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So anyway, so that's what I'm saying. When I say he performed 5,100 sit-ups, maybe he didn't. Bruce Lee personally offered Smith the co-lead in Enter the Dragon.
I've heard that, yeah.
But another film went over schedule, and John Saxon stepped into the role. He competed in motocross events with Steve McQueen.
I've heard that as well.
He filmed an 8-minute test pilot portraying Kane for the TV series Kung Fu, wearing prosthetic eyepieces to make him appear Chinese. But the network wanted Smith for the role, but producer Jerry Thorpe ultimately deemed him too muscular and menacing. He won the light heavyweight German-Austrian boxing championship while in the U.S. Air Force, and he stated in a horror magazine that during breaks on the set of The Ghost of Frankenstein, 1942, in which Smith played a village boy, the film's star, Lon Chaney Jr., treated all of the children on the set to ice cream.
Yeah, Janet Ann Gallo has said that as well.
Has said the same thing, yes. And it's good to note because probably true then. Like, there doesn't seem to be anybody who said, no, actually, he was mean to children.
No, I've never heard that.
Yeah. Right.
The only person said they were mean to them was Evelyn Ankers.
And
did not get along.
Pierce, right?
I don't think it would mean,
maybe
Chaney was certainly pretty much at his disposal.
Whim, yeah.
Yeah, so whatever Pierce did, he couldn't argue.
All right, so that's my William Smith bit.
Okay, well.
Brought to you by, I don't know, Patreon.
IMDb.
By the IMDb, for the most part, yeah.
A gendarme calls for order as the magistrate enters.
Yes.
Magistrate being a civilian officer who administers the law.
Oh.
That's really all there is to it.
Interesting.
Certain regions has a little more power.
So he's not a judge.
No.
But he is referred to as Your Honor.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a judge. Or a magistrate, if you will.
Yes.
Okay.
This particular magistrate is portrayed by venerable character actor Holmes Herbert.
Oh, I can't wait.
Originally it was going to be Herbert Holmes, but he was unavailable, so Holmes Herbert did it.
They had to settle for his brother.
Aristide Oltz. Oltz Aristide. Why do I remember that?
People ask me I remember it.
People ask me for my social security number. Like,
you know your social. Don't lie. Do you not know your social security?
I do.
Oh, because I could give it to you.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
The internet is a strange place.
Call you.
I wasn't even looking for it.
Yeah. Well, it's out there. July 30th, 1882, in Nottinghamshire, England. Yeah, I wish I was from Nottinghamshire.
Oh, I mean, everything over there is called Nottinghamshire.
Yeah.
You know, I just got back, so we, and this is going out next week, so I haven't been back long. My favorite train is the one to get on is the one that's headed towards Cockfosters. I mean, everything's named that shit over there.
I believe I have a picture of the tube station.
You went all the way to Cockfosters just to get a picture?
Yeah, I had a day or two because I didn't want to do what the group was doing. We had the option to do whatever. So
nice.
That was when I looked for Joe Strummer.
I went. You know where I went? I went to St. John's Wood.
Did you?
You know what's over there? Abbey Road.
Yeah.
And 6 blocks away, Paul McCartney's house. He still owns it, and he supposedly stays there when he's in England, which, according to the pictures I regularly see on the internet, is never. Because he's at Beyonce's concert. He's everywhere. He's everywhere in the U.S.
Yeah. He died December 26th, 1956. Merry Christmas in Hollywood, California.
He did that thing that you hear about where the patriarch or matriarch of the family lives long enough to get through Christmas
and then
doesn't wake up the next morning.
Yep.
God bless you, Aristide Herbert.
Holmes Herbert.
Holmes Herbert.
He's been in a million things.
Was he ever Sherlock Holmes? Because that would be something.
No, he would have been a good one. 74 years old when he died. 234 credits.
Including?
From 1915 to 1952.
Okay.
The Lost World.
No kidding.
Notable for the Willis O'Brien animation, mainly not the clumsy storytelling.
Right.
Mr. Wu with Chaney Sr.
Don't know that one.
Yeah. Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, not the Howard Hawks musical. This is from 1928. It's based on the same story.
Is it?
Yeah. Apparently, one of the characters, the role that Marilyn Monroe played, is based loosely on Mae Clark.
No kidding.
That's what I've heard.
Huh.
I've never researched much to verify that.
I like it.
Yeah. The Terror, not the Boris Karloff, Jack Nicholson, but something from
he died in 56, so it wouldn't work out.
1928, yep. 13th Chair. Well, just wait then. 13th Chair, directed by Todd Browning, starring Bela Lugosi.
Nice.
As a detective. Pre-Dracula.
Yeah.
Yep. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde from 1932.
Oh, the good one.
Yes.
The really, really good one.
Really, really excellent.
There's a new one coming out.
Yeah.
Where Eddie Izzard plays Hyde, I believe, as a woman.
Yes.
From what I've seen. I shouldn't
and
guess.
That's nothing new because Hammer did that in the 70s.
And this is Hammer.
Yes.
This is the first new Hammer film.
No, they've been doing films for several years now.
You're right. But was there something about it that made it new? I don't know.
Anyway.
They've announced it as the new... I think they're under new ownership, but they were...
Again.
Yeah, again.
Mystery of the Wax Museum, another...
Seen it.
You may have seen this one.
By the way, no, never mind.
The Invisible Man.
Yeah, I've seen that one. What is he in that?
The police captain or chief of police, something like that. Mark of the Vampire. Plays Mark. I've been sitting on that one for a while.
Oh, God, you got me again. Once every couple of years, you get me with these.
I've been sitting on that.
At least we were in person, so you got to get the reaction without the 1 second delay that killed it last time. I didn't want to do it
too close to Invisible Ray. Yep.
That's good.
Captain Blood. The 13th Chair.
Oh, no.
1937. Playing the same role.
No kidding.
As he did in 29.
Way to go.
Yep. Adventures of
Not
Robin Hood.
everybody can do it.
Adventures of Robin Hood.
They didn't. Well, you're not thinking of the 14th Chair, are you? Because that would have been the next.
This was the reboot.
Was it rebooted? Okay.
Adventures of Robin Hood. Mystery of Mr. Wong with Karloff.
Nice.
House of Fear.
Right.
The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
That's a very good one.
Yes, it is.
It's the second good one.
Yep.
Second goodest.
Yep. Tower of London.
Also good.
For Roland V. Lee with Boris Karloff and Basil Rathbone. Foreign Correspondent for Alfred Hitchcock. Invisible Agent, which is I know I've seen, but couldn't tell you anything about it.
Yep.
I believe Peter Lorre is in it.
I also believe that they specifically reference the character's name from the first one. Who's the character in Invisible Man?
Griffith?
Yeah, they specifically name him, thus ensuring that it is considered a sequel, although no one cares.
Right. The Undying Monster, which is a good werewolf film from Fox.
Okay.
Very moody.
What year are we talking?
Like early 40s.
Okay.
Post Wolfman, but.
Okay.
Sherlock Holmes and the Secret Weapon.
Not the worst one, but it's got that. It's the Nazi. They're fighting the Nazis.
The worst one's Sherlock Holmes in Washington.
And he's in that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I maybe not the worst, but it's certainly far from the best. Once they get past
he
those
bumped into Basil Rathbone quite a few times.
Quite a bit.
Once you get past those, I'm sorry, yeah, you're right.
Once you get past those couple.
So what we're saying is once it moves to Universal, it is a definite drop-off in quality that only lasts maybe 3 or 4 films.
3 films, I think it is. Though we've been going through them.
And we've talked about it on our podcast.
Yeah. Calling Dr. Death, one of the Inner Sanctum movies with Chaney Jr.
Nice.
The Uninvited, one of the best ghost movies ever made.
No kidding.
Absolutely love it. It's creepy. The ghost effect is still chilling.
Okay.
But they build the atmosphere around it so well. Pearl of Death, which is another Holmes.
Holmes Herbert.
Yep. Mummy's Curse.
So he did do a lot of Holmes movies.
Another Holmes movie, Mummy's Curse.
There you go.
The House of Fear, which is actually is a Sherlock Holmes movie.
Okay, the other one.
Dressed to Kill, which is, I believe, isn't it the last of the Sherlock Holmes?
I can never remember, but that sounds right.
I think it is. Something called Mark of the Gorilla, and I only wrote it down because it had gorilla in the title. I don't know anything about it.
I just like that it had Mark in the title.
Yeah.
Because he played Mark.
He's a callback to Mark of the Vampire.
Yeah, it's the sequel.
Yeah.
He reprised the role of Mark.
And the Venerable Son of Dr. Jekyll, which has come up a few times. I probably really should find that and watch it.
Wow. I like that the son of Dr. Jekyll doesn't do anything with a potion or anything. That's just something his dad did. So it's like a completely different story. He like works at the post office.
He's an accountant, yeah. Eric Ernst crosses to the magistrate.
Oh. We're still talking about the minute. We're back on Frankenstein Minute. Eric crosses to the magistrate and says...
Well, the magistrate says, I don't understand the urgency requiring an immediate hearing.
Which is an interesting thing, yeah. Because Eric expressed great urgency to Ludwig 10 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. And he said, people have died, I believe was the way he put it. Something like that. 2 people have been killed. 2 people have been killed, which is an interesting thing for him to not mention here. And I'll have more to say about it next week. I think. Soon. Yep. And then what happens?
Eric says it's an unusual case. The prisoner is dangerous. I suggest we remand him to a higher court and transfer him to the city.
Are we not in the city? There's a city now.
Apparently this is a suburb. Visaria is a suburb.
Visaria is a suburb of a city.
Of Frankenstein. They're gonna.
It's like if you ever get mail, like I live in Ingrove Heights, and you can still get mail sent to me if you get everything right on the label except put St. Paul.
Yeah, we get Minneapolis all the time.
Right. And we used to, when I was a kid in Blaine, we'd get Minneapolis. Yeah. So I think some of that at least stems back to, well, that's the city. Mm-hmm. They have the post office, and somebody used to have to run out, the 20 miles to collect mail every 6 months. Yeah. And that's what we have here. Visaria's not the city.
It's a backwater.
I kind of wish we knew, because there's
I wish there was
presume
better.
It's not Frankenstein, because if it was, you would kind of assume that the word had gotten out. Yeah. So they must have walked a far enough distance that nobody knows who this flat-headed fella is with his hunchback friend,
with his bolts and his green skin and.
No, here we go. He has bolts.
He does have bolts.
Oh, they're not bolts; those are electrodes.
There you go. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I don't know. I understand the man is insane.
Oh, there's no doubt of that.
No doubt of it.
Very, very dismissive.
Which is there's no doubt of it, but that's for the higher courts to decide.
Yeah, he goes both ways on that already.
Apparently, they don't have the jurisdiction to decide that, or
I guess
I don't.
I mean, honestly, we're going to be talking about this for a couple of weeks. I'm trying to kind of understand Eric's role.
I was going to say a lot of
Eric's motive. No, his method, his motive. Yeah, his motivation. I can't understand what anybody's up to, but I'll say this: we should make a report on the prisoner's mental condition. Does the magistrate say that? I can't remember who says it. So, okay, we'll look forward to that next week. That's our motive. Now we know what we're doing. Yeah. The judge wants a report on the prisoner's medical condition. Yep. Okay, good. Well, is that all you got?
That's it.
Minute? All right. Because that's where we stand, damn it.
Any more questions, wise ass?
Oh, that's right. I took a picture even.
Oh, yeah. So we won't have the usual 5 minutes of fumbling.
Well, I didn't mean to imply I wasn't going to fumble. Sean writes.
Oh, well, what?
Oh, that sound can only mean one thing. It's time for Bill's Bell update. Wait. We're not going carrying on from film to film. Although that'd be something, wouldn't it?
There still hasn't been a bell.
No, we still haven't heard the bell, so I don't know. Wouldn't that be great if, like, suddenly someone bumped into a bell and Lionel Atwill's character from the last film? I told you I'd come.
What's the trouble?
Can only mean one thing.
It'd be
it's
even
time
greater
for
if it happened in Bud Abbott, Lou Costello, Frankenstein.
There,
towards the very end.
Or just right in the middle of House of Dracula. Somewhere in the middle.
No, he's already in that as a different character, so it'd have to be. Because he's in every film going forward up until...
Actually, he may be that character in House of Dracula.
Sure, why not?
Let's say he is.
Okay.
We'll have to look forward to that. Sean? Can only mean one thing. It's time for Got Any More Questions, Wise Ass? Special Patreon edition brought to you this week by Patreon, patreon.com/Frankenstein Minute. I'm not going to spell the whole thing out, where you can sign up, and at the $2 level you get, you can be a friend. That's we call that friend, and you get every
friend good
episode a day early on what someone pointed out to me I should be calling Frankenstein Thursday.
Oh, no.
I can't even remember who said that now.
No, we're going to ignore
I wonder if it was Jeff. But anyway.
I mean, it's cute, but...
I might have to keep doing it.
Oh, Jesus.
And more news potentially upcoming on that front. But please consider helping us out. Sean from Patreon. Oh, that's right. If I hadn't said already, this week or this month or whatever, however it plays out.
These 5 episodes. 21 through 25.
21 through 25. I posted in advance just for Patreon so they could comment. And Sean commented, the music takes a quick turn into demented carnival territory while Elsa is speaking and then bang, back to normal. Yep. I am so happy with this comment because that was what I was trying to get at, and I think you summed it up very well, Sean. Thank you.
Yep.
Mike Herman responds.
In fact, I'm considering him as a potential replacement.
I mean, at this point, I don't see why you would even bother with me. Mike Herman responds, I really like Holmes Herbert.
Hey,
he's one of the great, that guy's character actors from this era.
Exactly. Venerable character actor.
All right, so that's it for those comments. Let me see if I have something else, because I always got something else. Oh, Google wants to give me an update on where I've been in September, which would be nice, because I actually went someplace, which I haven't done for a while. All right, Don Motley commented on a post, and I don't know which post. I don't know when this happened.
Okay.
Oh, this is really sad.
Oh.
I wish I would have seen this 2 months ago.
Okay.
But it's not from 2 months ago. He says, William Smith is not in the ball kicking scene.
Okay.
I believe he is, but he's not one of the 3 boys at the front. So he's in this just in the back. So he might as well not be. Do we need to?
No.
Oh. I thought you were looking at something.
I was, but...
If he did kick the ball, that take wound up on the cutting room floor. He does appear 10 minutes later in the courtroom scene, standing by the door, and his face is unmistakable. Yes, he's unmistakable to people who know him from Laredo or Rich Man, Poor Man, or Any Which Way You Can, in which I believe he gets into a fight with Clint Eastwood.
Nimrod, what was it?
And he's also in every fucking show. Like, name a show. He was one of those. He's in every show. He's in Columbo. Yeah, he was in it. Murder, She Wrote. Yeah, he was in it.
Working character actors.
Yeah, and he's also in a lot of schlock. So when I mentioned Debbie Does Damnation, he's in a bunch of movies like that. I just like that title.
That was a good title.
That was a good title. All right. Chuck responded to a post. In case you're on the fence about sending out the minute video clips, they are a very enjoyable companion to the podcast. Bonus Patreon material.
All right.
All right. Well, I've been doing a pretty good job of not looking at these, so that's good to hear. And I think we had an hour and a half now?
Yeah.
Are we ready to call it?
Pushing.
Let's call it. I'm calling it.
The patient died at 11:45 a.m.
Oh my God,
Saturday, October 7th.
So long.
Over.